Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in development by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how Jon, George, and Dave are really using a combination of Star Wars Legends and the existing Star Wars canon material under Disney's wing to really create this new balance for new, hardcore, and casual Star Wars fans. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, here we are, it is the very beginning of April. It is crazy how fast time is just flying by. We are just getting closer to the release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, which is a little over a month from now. We got a little ways to go for the marketing to really ramp up by early May, when we get that full-length trailer that's going to finally give us a lot of footage of Darth Vader and more. However, everything beyond all of this, Jon, George, and Dave have a lot of things in the pipeline. And when I mean that they have a lot of things in the pipeline, they really have over a dozen Star Wars projects that are going to be live-action TV shows alone that are going to be releasing throughout the 2020s, of course. And that is one thing to really keep in mind, is that they really want to make sure that this decade for Star Wars is really going to be very strong, that Star Wars is going to thrive and survive, and really give the fans new and unique experiences that they have actually been asking for the longest time since ever. So when you look at everything related to what Jon, George, and Dave have been doing, is that they are really set on using a lot of Legends material from many of the past existing books that were created for Legends and incorporating that into the new TV shows. However, beyond all of that, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now developing multiple Star Wars projects at the same exact time, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently creating new series of shows that will expand the Mandoverse and even create other brand new eras for the Star Wars universe. Now, it's noted that creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently working on a brand new series that will predate the prequel trilogy and will focus on royal families and political figures such as the House of Palpatine and the House of Dooku, and others as well that will dive deeper into the younger lives of these two iconic characters. However, one major scene that is already planned to be a big deal in this planned series, that is described to be a limited series so far, is that Jon Favreau is focused on creating a full-fledged scene that will feature the death of Darth Plagueis in this new Star Wars show. Now, this entire scene is planned to be filmed sometime during the end of 2023, once the show goes into full production, and that Jon Favreau has already been in the talks with actor Ian McDiarmid to return as the role of Palpatine in his younger years by the use of de-aging technology. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, this to me sounds like what Jon and Dave are doing is that they are taking a lot of ideas from James Luceno's books. If you guys have not read James Luceno's books, especially the one for Plagueis, go ahead, check it out. I think a lot of fans out there will love it. I haven't read it in years, but it's an amazing book that really gives you an in-depth look into the characters of Plagueis and Palpatine's family, and you just really learn more about everything that comes before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. But I digress. What Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni really are trying to do here is that they are trying to show us political figures and royal families before the events of The Phantom Menace. This, like I say, includes the House of Dooku and the House of Palpatine. And that is one thing to really keep in mind here, is that this mystery project, which we'll get into the code name in just a couple of seconds, is going to be released at some point in time in either 24 or 25. We got quite a ways to go, to be honest, but it is going to enter production in late 2023, and of course that means principal photography, which means that they're going to begin writing this thing most likely in early next year. So apart from all of this, this is where things begin to really pick up and get more exciting, is that Favreau is described to also be considering a Palpatine recast for some of the more involved scenes that focus on an even younger version of Palpatine. However, the scene that involves Palpatine destroying Plagueis in his sleep is going to be done for the first time in live-action form for this new mystery series that is currently codenamed Dark Forces. Project Dark Forces is described to focus on key characters from the Star Wars prequels in their younger years, specifically those that are or are going to be associated with the dark side of the Force, and other new characters that will be introduced as well. The new series is said to also involve new revelations about Palpatine's father in the Star Wars canon lore that will be unveiled to the entire fandom. Now, in case you guys do not know, in Legends, we have a character called Kasinga Palpatine. Alright, that is Palpatine's father. And Palpatine's father belonged to the House of Palpatine. And there's a lot to be told. I won't get into a lot of it in case you guys want to read those books, but there's a lot involved with political parties and political figures and the houses of Dooku and Palpatine, and it's just a very great read. Go ahead and check it out. Now, moving on from this, Favreau wants to show the fans exactly how Palpatine destroyed his family, including his father and siblings for an example in live-action form, to show fans how truly evil Palpatine was even during his younger life before the prequel trilogy. The show is said to not only focus on Palpatine and Plagueis, but also tons of new characters that will be explored that are going to be associated with the House of Palpatine and the House of Dooku as well. Now, though Christopher Lee is no longer with us, Favreau has extensive plans on creating a young version of Dooku before he turned to the dark side of the Force, giving fans a fresh new take on the character that will finally allow the fandom to see what the character was like before he was turned into a Sith. This will also dive deeper into new secrets about Plagueis and his true plans with Palpatine that will involve new revelations about the spiritual realm, and an important book is also being published as we speak right now that will shed light on the series beforehand to boost the familiarity for the fans. Now, here's the thing about this, alright? Now, given that they are taking a lot of notes from James Luceno's books, especially the Plagueis one, because they are going to be exploring the House of Palpatine and the House of Dooku. That's pretty much, screaming James Luceno's Plagueis book. But the other thing is this, is that they are also not only focusing on Plagueis, Palpatine, and Dooku. They're really going to be like side characters in a sense. They're not going to be the main characters per se, but they're going to be focusing on other new characters that are going to be a part of those houses, if that makes a lot of sense. That, to me, sounds like what they are doing, and this is what it sounds like what they're doing. So they're going to focus on characters like Palpatine's father, or maybe even Dooku's father, around those lines. That's just an assumption, but what they are doing is that they are treating Palpatine and Dooku and Plagueis as side characters, but being very prominent in the story that's actually going to drive the story. And these new characters, who we don't really know too much about just yet, like I say, most likely associated with Palpatine and Dooku's family members. That, to me, I think is the most likely scenario, but we'll have to wait and see. John and Dave know exactly what they're doing. They want to make sure that Star Wars is still going to be all about family, and it's all going to be about bonding and stuff around those lines, and you can see which way they are going right now with this new Dark Forces Star Wars show that is going to be a limited TV series for Disney+. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.